Good morning, everybody. It's Randy with Carchaeology, and today we're going to spend a bunch of time on Little Joe the Jeep, and we're also going to fire up the Mercedes and pull it out of the lab. It's going to be a fun day because not only will Little Joe get the completion of its detailing, it's also going to be the first time that Jonathan, one of the owners of the Jeep, gets to see the work that we've been doing to it. Now, I think he's probably seen some of the videos, but it'll be fun to get him out here, get his hands on it so that he can be a part of the revival of this historic little Jeep. And Sebastian is coming as well, so we're going to play around with a few different things, and it should be a very good time here at Carchaeology. So follow along, and let's see what sort of trouble we can get into today. So if you got little hands, you can get down in there and do that.
I told you I got skinnier hands than you.
Yeah, it's really hard to get in there to do it. And we could try to, I've got some brushes and stuff like that we can do to brush that stuff out of there. But anyway.
You did a great job.
Well, let's see how good you do on the other side.
All right, well, we'll have a side by side here.
There you go.
It almost seems like it was painted. Or am I just tripping?
You know, it could be that there was dirt and stuff that was in those little cracks. You know,
and it protected the paint.
And it protected it. Yeah, I see what you mean. It is trippy. You see those little
and like obviously where she painted it, because I imagine his wife did this because she was the artist, Laverne. But you can see where she painted it. The red is also showing through.
Yeah.
So you're probably right. It's just dirt.
Yeah, if there was dirt or wax or something that was kind of protected.
And I was thinking the reason why maybe it's so dark on the back, I can't remember when we bought the place, but maybe it was pulled into the garage with the back facing out.
Oh, that could be. That makes sense.
It's weird that it's so discolored back here. But
it's also, when you think about it, when you're driving through the dirt, right, the back of your car gets caked with muck. So it probably took the most abuse.
It could have just been from that.
But all right, so Jonathan's got this side all wiped down here, and we can start putting a little wax on there and see if that color comes back to life, which of course it will, because it did over here. Little Joe is gonna shine. So just put a little bit of that magic goo on there, if you can get it out. You've got that motion down.
Okay.
All right. So just get it down into all the little cracks and corners and that sort of thing. You don't need to put it on super thick. It'll spread out quite a bit. And then once you get it all on there, then we can go back and wipe off any of the excess once it's had a chance to kind of get in there. Cool. So it'll look really greasy and kind of gnarly at the start, but then once you go past it, it'll look better.
Cool.
But yeah, instant shine.
Yeah, I love it.
But what I love about it too is once you do like go back and wipe it off, then it doesn't look like you just hit the whole thing with shiny goo. Right. You know, it's got a real nice.
The other side looks soft, great.
Yeah, it looks nice and dry, but you still see a little shine, and it gives it that artifact quality that we're after here. So Little Joe is looking sexy. I guess that's okay to say, isn't it? Are Jeeps sexy? I'm not sure, but if there ever was one, this one certainly is. Jonathan did a great job polishing up at the driver's side. Seb's down here working to see if we can get any sort of brakes. I'm in here doing a little more detailing on the interior. We've got the tires cleaned up a bit. The tailgate is now all the way polished, so you can see that cool patina going on there. And damn, looking good. So if we can get the brakes to work, then we'll take this thing out for a little drive and get some video of that. Well, unfortunately, Little Joe has given us a little bit of grief on the mechanical level. The fuel pump here has given up the ghost, so it fired up nicely for me yesterday, but today it's not. However, it is looking significantly shinier. We're also having little to no luck with the brakes. I think the brake lines are just absolutely rock solid clogged. Sebastian opened up the master cylinder, went through all of that, got a little bit of work there, but I think we're fighting an uphill battle when it comes to that. I think it's time to order up some brake parts and really do it properly so that little Joe can run, drive, stop, and all of that. So we did manage to get the rear window on the top here to help support some of the damage that was happening here. It seems to be holding okay right now. I might do something to tighten it up a little bit if I can. But the detailing of it really looks spectacular. I'm loving the look of little Joe. Just a real pleasing, warm patina to that awesome little Jeep. And it might not be running and driving for the Rod Run, but it's certainly going to be looking amazing. Try that parking brake. Parking brake. Woo. Yeah, I don't want to stuff little Joe into the front of the Porsche. That might be bad. I had that Mercedes moment of when we ran the thing into the wall. Oh shit, no brakes. Oh, we did that with the 40 Mercedes. Yeah. Not one of my prouder moments. Anyway, I think little Joe's looking pretty damn sweet. Just nice, gentle cleanup. You can still see that patina, you can see that look, but everything's kind of preserved now with a little bit of that wax on there. So if somebody spills their beer on it, it's not going to leave a big stain or do anything like that. But see, engine compartment, we did some cleanup in there. Looks a lot better. Little color in there. You tried to get some of the stickers and stuff to show. Put that on there. But overall pretty good. Although we still need to battle the fuel pump problem because it is leaking a little bit. So we're not going to drive it around much because lighting it on fire would be bad. And then brakes. There's no brakes except for the parking brake. But we did get the parking brake working, so that's awesome. Yeah, and rebuild the carb and all of that stuff I think would be quite nice. But overall, I'm pretty pleased. It looks good. Missed a spot on this wheel here. Gotta get that. That must have been up high. Anyway, that's me being a picky ass. I know I suck. But I've got all the goodies in the back here kind of laid out, put together a real nice book with some history on little Joe. Wrote up a little thing here, Little Joe the Jeep. This all original and unrestored 1955 Jeep CJ is history on wheels. The original owner, Horace Parker, grew up in the Temecula Valley and his father worked for the rail station in town. After high school, he went into the veterinary profession, eventually opened practice on Balboa Island near Newport Beach. His off-duty passion was exploring the California desert, which led to a side project of writing a weekly column in the local newspaper about his adventures, and eventually starting his own publishing company called Paisano Press here on the tailgate. And his guidebook for the Anza-Borrego Desert was a big seller, and other publications followed. Little Joe the Jeep was his trusty steed on these adventures and features prominently in the book and period images. So anyway, on and on and on. I don't want to read everything because it sounds funky. But that and all of the original paperwork is now in this binder here. The original historic goodies there that you saw in the previous video. So people can kind of come thumb through that. And then we're going to put that down with little Joe the Jeep at the Rod Run, along with some frame photos of the Jeep in use and all that shit. There you go. You got that spot on the tire. I'm happy. So what do you think, Jonathan? Are you pleased with the?
I'm over the moon. Thank you, Randy. I can't thank you enough. You put your heart and soul into him, and he's not even yours. And I really appreciate it.
No,
He's beautiful.
It was really an honor to do it. I mean, I don't know, the moment I saw little Joe sitting in the garage there and started walking around, it was like, this is the coolest fucking Jeep I've ever seen.
I don't know if I've ever seen love at first sight, but your eyes looked pretty close.
I will admit I'm a bit of a whore when it comes to that. I love a lot of cars that I see, but yeah, it's just so killer. It's such a neat little piece of history, and to be able to explore the history of Horace and the hotel and all his travels in Little Joe. I mean, all of that is the sort of ride that I like from a car, and so it's been really fun to do that. And Sebastian, of course, being the master to make things go. It was a good team effort here. So anyway, come down to Temecula Rod Run, check out Little Joe the Jeep. We'll have it parked in the driveway of the Hotel Temecula on Saturday. Please come by, take a peek, and we'll get some video of that action and some people checking it out. Certainly. So there we go. Little Joe leaves the lab, and tomorrow I go pick up the Brubaker box from the upholstery shop. So that's going to be killer. Can't wait. Thanks everybody for watching. Keep on digging them up and driving them. Bye-bye.